Japan is aiming to keep a tighter lid on its privacy. The State Secrets Act will soon come into force, and it's been one of the most divisive measures by an administration which is no stranger to controversy. The new law will toughen punishments for people who give or receive information the government deems as secret. Officials or others who disclose secrets could face 10-year jail sentences. The people receiving the information, such as journalists, could get 5 years. The law continues to trigger protests. The opponents come from a wide spectrum, from academics to rights activists to journalists.
Well, one of the concerns that all journalists have in Japan, not just me, is that this law could criminalize some of the things we do.
David McNeil, a Tokyo-based correspondent, has written several articles about the new law. He's also been covering the Fukushima nuclear disaster. He says his own efforts to uncover some of the unsavory developments at the crippled nuclear plant meant going through some unofficial channels.
Well, in my case, in particular to a worker at the power plant, who I found in Iwaki, and now the concern is that if you did something like that, you might be breaking the law. So a worker, for example, who's on site at the Daiichi power plant, who's able to tell you that the situation is much more dangerous than the government or the regulators or the operator are telling you, is he in some way infringing state secrets?
The wording in the law is a particular point of concern for its opponents. They complain that its definitions are vague, which could allow government officials to hide vast amounts of information from the public view.
So if you're going to interview a nuclear worker or a nuclear regulator or a whistleblower, somebody like that, are you in some way damaging state security, or could the government see it that way? And could you then fall foul of the law? That's one of the issues of concern to people like me, to journalists.
The government is trying to ease such fears. It's just released a set of revised guidelines, and it promises that no matter what form the law takes, the public's right to know will fully be respected.
This goes kind of towards Japanese culture, where you can go ahead and classify everything as state secret because you don't want to, forget to dot an I or cross a T. But obviously, if you do that, then nothing's a secret, actually, counterintuitively. So how you classify things, I think there are, 400,000 state secret documents already right now, and how you reclassify them as special secrets, and who does that, and what the oversight is. If there's anything good the Japanese government's good at, is putting these bureaucratic institutions together. So that'll be interesting, but I think that's still being worked on, and how the checks and balances will be done.
Saito says the law was needed given Japan's national security needs in today's information era, and that the law is basically in line with measures in the United States and other developed countries. Any shortcomings in the legislation in its current form, he believes, will be addressed and ironed out.
I think that over time you will have institutions like the media that will get better at this. And while it's not noted in Japan up to now, I think things are slowly changing so that you use the court systems, for example, to test these things. Up to now, maybe perhaps people had assumed that, okay, it's a law written in stone, never for change, but I think you see a legal system becoming a little bit more vibrant. And I think the media, it's important to keep the heat on it to focus on those issues. So that's fine. I think the government have to go really askew to make it that abusive.
A significant number of Japanese people are taking an active interest in the law. They sent in about 24,000 comments during a special review period. One of the things they want is an independent panel to ensure that the law is not abused. The government says that's not necessary. So the question now is whether officials in Tokyo can protect both freedom of expression and the country's secrets. Thank you for watching Business in Japan TV.